Hello, welcome to the Chit Chat Knits podcast. My name is Darcy, and I'm the maker at Chit Chat Knits. I thought I would drop in today and show you some finished objects, some things I've been working on, some almost finished project, and just talk a little bit about possible Advent mini projects. I know a lot of us have Advent minis or just scraps of fingering weight yarn, and it's fun to find ways to use those. And I have designed several patterns that work well with minis, and so I just love to take a few minutes and show you a few patterns today. How are you? It's almost Thanksgiving. It's November 20th, and I'm looking out the windows out there, and it looks like I'm in a snow globe today. It is light, fluffy flakes falling from the sky. Now, I don't think this is gonna stick, but it sure is pretty looking out the window. And I put my little basket up here. I already got a Christmas gift in this basket. A group of friends that have been getting together for many years. We do an exchange at Christmas time. We're all quilters. So this year, we usually draw a name, but this year we decided, we met early because one person is going to be gone for several months. And so this year we put together a gift of things we had. Maybe fabric we hadn't used, pattern we, whatever, just stash stuff. And it was so much fun. My gift was a beautiful flannel quilt kit that I will be making this winter, and it was in this cute box. Isn't that adorable? And what I have in this box goes with today's podcast, because in here are some cute little packages that is an Advent mini swap. And my Advent partner, look at how cute these are. Just adorable. So when I got this little box, I thought I'm just going to put them all in there and they're ready to go. And I've been so good, I haven't even peeked. Anyway, I wanted to start today with a couple things, then we'll get into some ideas for Advent minis. And the first one is this finished object. This is called my Snowstar Cowl. And I made this as part of the Pigskin Party Q2 challenge. And the challenge was to put buttons on your project. So this is a pattern, one of my very early patterns. It was fun to reknit it. I really enjoyed. Let me get back so you can see it a little bit. It's just a long rectangle, and then you just sew it and add some buttons, and look at the buttons. Oh, can you read it? It says hand knit by Chit Chat Knits. I bought those off Etsy quite a long time ago, and I was trying to find buttons to put on here, and then I remembered I have those wood buttons that say hand knit by Chit Chat Knits. So my plan is to wear this for Thanksgiving. The yarn is Kestrel. It was a colorway that Melissa of Bellafio Yarns did last year. So this also fit in the Stash Bash part of our Ravelry group. And I do want to talk about our Ravelry group today a little bit more. So I was thinking that it would be fun. So many of you have been busy bashing your stash and posting in there all year, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much. But let's do this. Let's continue bashing that stash and make sure you get your photos in the finished object, and I'm going to put together a grand prize for the end of the year, okay? And I will draw that late in December. Yes. I was just thinking, because my grandkids are coming for a week, so it might be early January. but I will draw one grand prize winner and send out some really fun prize, okay? All right, so make sure you're getting in the Ravelry group, the Chit Chat Knits Ravelry group, and if you're using up something that's been stashed, make sure you post in there. Now I'm going to take this off because I'm going to be putting another cowl on here in a minute, but I want to show you a couple projects. So another thing we've had going on, and I'm so grateful for your participation, and that is the Better Than Fiction mystery shawl. This was a mystery that was done in 6 clues. I did it in collaboration with Wendy of Knitters Brewing Company, and all of our proceeds from the sales of this pattern have gone to Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. And friends, I have been able to send over $500. So thank you so very much for your participation. Anyway, since the last clue has gone out, I thought I would show you my shawl. This is my Better Than Fiction shawl. So this was book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, book 5, and book 6. And if you're still doing the mystery, I hope you looked away. It's a beautiful, beautiful shawl. I'm really proud of the work that Wendy and I did, and I'm just grateful to have it. I love a lot of, I love bright colors, so I had to add that lime in there as a pop. Thank you again for your participation. We greatly appreciated it. All right, so one more thing, which is hot, hot, hot off the needles. Seriously, this morning I finished up knitting this sweater, and this took me, okay, can I say I might have gotten a little obsessed with this project because I started it a week ago yesterday and finished it this morning. So that's 8 days. But it's worsted weight, so it did go very quickly. So here it is. It's not blocked and the ends are not woven in. But I wanted to quick show you how pretty it is. I wanted to make this sweater. This is a pattern by Poison Grrls. And I love it. Just go on their website because they have, it's so beautiful. They take vintage sweaters, vintage projects, and they design the patterns the way we like to knit today. Okay, so this one was called Sleigh Ride, and it has the higher neck. It did call for a provisional cast on and then a doubled over neck, but I didn't think I would like that. So I just did a regular neck, and if I decide I might even try, after I block it, I could just attach at the top of this ribbing, knit another ribbing, and then sew it at the bottom. If I decide that I want that sort of, what do you call it? Like a mock turtleneck. I guess you'd call it a low mock turtleneck. But I was just afraid that it was going to make it too hot for me around the neck. But anyway, it's the yarn. Guess what? Cascade yarns, 220 superwash, merino. And the green, I've got my notes here. The green is colorway 16, and the white is 8010, 8010 white. And I'm really, really excited to block it and see how this color work blooms. Now, I have an event. I'm going to dinner theater in the Twin Cities on Saturday with my friend to see White Christmas. So that's why I wanted to get this sweater done, because I want to wear it, because I think it has such a great vintage White Christmas. If you're a White Christmas movie fan, you know. Anyway, and then I'll wear it throughout the Christmas season because, you know, it's pretty. I like it. So today, as soon as we're done here, this is going in the water to get blocked. And then I'll get the ends woven in. I'm so happy with it. It really consumed me the last week because I always think, when you're knitting I love a yoke sweater because I get so excited knitting that yoke. Now I agree. It can get a little long to knit in the body, but I did some shaping, and the pattern does call for shaping, but I sort of I shaped it for me because I'm not a 20-year-old. I don't have that 25-year-old body anymore. So I did shaping to fit me, and it turned out beautifully. So and then the shaping, so that just working through that shaping, I was like, okay, get to the next increase, and then I did decrease a little, I decreased and then I increased. So I had a little more room in the hips. So that kind of kept me going, thinking about, okay, get to the next decrease, get to the next decrease. Okay, now knit straight for a while. Okay, now let's increase. So that was fun. And then really, I knit, well, I got up really early, very, very early. Really kind of in the middle of the night because, that's the cycle I'm on right now. But that's okay because I get a lot done. So I did one sleeve this morning, one entire sleeve. I didn't have any interruption, so it went well. So in the soak it's going, we'll get it laid out, get it dry, get it ready for Christmas holiday wearing. Yay! Okay, now I also I told you that we were going to talk about some things that you could possibly do with Advent mini skeins or scraps that you have. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is a project that I also has had me just, I just don't want to stop. It's so much fun. So this is it's called the Songs of the Season. Try to put a picture in here. And the project could be a cowl, or you could do it in a scarf. And you don't even have to decide when you start, because you can get going and then decide if you want a cowl or a scarf. So I'm just going to give you the teensiest sneak peek of this. And I put it in a bag, in one of my project bags, because I don't want you to see the whole thing. I just want to show you the end. Okay, that's all you get for a sneak peek. Okay, so last year I did a little simple cowl pattern that had a variety of stitches in it. And I started this pattern, it was in my Ravelry group, and I started it on Christmas Day. So it went for 12 days of Christmas. Well, this year the project is larger, and I will be, each day will be in my Ravelry group. So you will want to watch each day, join our Ravelry group, and then watch for the pattern each day. And there are options. And Margie also helps monitor my Ravelry group. And so she is so great. She'll create quick links, so you'll be able to go, day one. You won't have to scroll. You'll be able to go day one and find that pattern day two. Each day will also have a Christmas song or a holiday song and where that song originated from. I've been having a lot of fun doing research because I love this kind of stuff, and writing a little paragraph of each day and where that song came from, and just some interesting little things about some of the songs we hear at the holidays. So this is going to start Thanksgiving weekend we're starting early. So my plan is to put the first day up the day after Thanksgiving. I know we're going to push Advent just a few days, because I want us to have plenty of time. Now, the other thing about this, you saw, that's a good bit of knitting. But if you find yourself starting the project and then getting really busy, you can end it early. You can, I found that doing days 1 through 8 made a nice little cowl that, like a single wrap cowl. So if you just want to go that far, great. If you go to, well, let's say at least day 12, maybe to day 14, you could get a double wrap cowl. I have chosen to make mine a scarf. I don't really have a long scarf. And as I was knitting, I thought, I would love this as a scarf. It's bright, it's fun. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, so lots of options here. Do some of it, do all of it. Maybe do like 1 through 8 and make a cowl, make some gifts. Do 9 through 16, whatever, break them up however you want. Or do the whole thing and have a really spectacular, fun cowl that you've made out of a swap. My swap came from the Carla Knits podcast. Every year she does a mini skein, 10-gram mini. Oh, that's the other thing. It uses 10 grams minis plus 1 full skein. So here's I have 1 section left. I'm on the last section that uses the full skein. And so I will have plenty, because I started that. I use about 8 grams per section that uses the full skein. So I'm going to have plenty. But this isn't that blue? Ooh, I love it. So if you have questions, certainly email me. There's information in the Ravelry group. It's called Songs of the Seasons Scarf Cowl. Okay, I hope you'll join us. It's going to be fun. The pattern will be up. I'll leave it for at least a couple months before we take it off the Ravelry group, because I do think that this will maybe become a full pattern, maybe for next holiday season. Anyway, I have some other ideas for you for using those Advent minis. Did I finish saying that this is a swap I did that was hosted by Carla of the Carla Knits podcast? I'm not sure I finished that, but my swap partner, Charlie, thank you. I haven't peeked, but the presentation was beautiful. So thank you very much. Okay, on to other ideas. Okay, so the next one I want to show you is one of my favorites, because, okay, look right there. You know that I'm a quilter. So this one I just love. This is called the Mini Patch Cowl. And like this year's Advent project, it is a tubular. So you knit it, you start with a provisional cast on, you knit a tube, you graft it at the end. And there are fantastic tutorials out there that show you exactly how to do it. I've got linked in the pattern. In this pattern, I'll link it in this pattern, but it's a great way to use up those scraps. And I love it because to me, it reminds me of a patchwork quilt. And now look, okay, look at this patchwork quilt. It's really scrappy. And you can be really scrappy with using your Advents. You don't necessarily have to make sure everything one matches to the next, matches the next. Because look at, when you wrap this around, here, let's look at it this way. Okay, so we're looking at it, it's kind of a hodgepodge, right? I didn't like fade or anything like that. But when you put this on, voila, it's like the scrap quilt. As a long time quilter, I have learned not to get too worried. If you're doing scrap, not to get too worried about one piece matching to the next, to the next, to the next. Because there's beauty in all of the diversity that comes together and becomes unified. Same principle here, and really kind of the same principle with people. Our diversity brought together and unified makes us really special. Okay, so here's one idea. It's called the mini patch cowl. Now, another shawl that I did, I think this was last spring, and this one is called the Apricity Wrap. And this is a kit by Up North Yarns. Look at how beautiful that is. Slipped stitches. Okay, so this would be perfect if you have a mini skein set. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 mini skeins and then a full skein. And then I made another one, just scraps in bright colors, because you know I like bright. Okay, so that's called the Apricity Wrap, A-P-R-I-C-I-T-Y. And then another one, another idea, and thanks to Carla of the Carla Knits, she has a really nice episode where she shows you 50 ideas to use, and she actually showed my hot dish mitts on the cast. And what this uses is worsted weight held with fingering. And the more, I think the more scrappy, the better. I love them. There's a hat too. This one, hat and mitts, hot dish hat, hot dish mitts. This one I just used, I didn't scrap. I just used a fingering weight skein or partial skein and a skein of worsted weight. The pattern has, tells what I used. But, and then just using up some scraps, I did this one where I just did a little color blocking, but still used my fingering weight scraps. And I think that one's really cute too. So just some ideas of things to do. And then I want to show you one more, and I have to put this one on because this is appropriate for today. This one is called the Winter's Promise. And this one is some color work. So you would do some color work. It has little baubles. Can you see the little baubles? Those represent snowballs. And then just some eyelets. So perfect for today since we have, it looks like a winter snow wonderland out there. It's called, again, what's it called? Winter's Promise, because we know there's snow coming for Winter's Promise. If you're a snow lover like me, you're excited. All right. A couple more things I want to show you. So just a yarn that I actually recently purchased that is so pretty. And I kind of have an idea for this, but I'm not sure it's going to happen before Christmas, but that's okay. Look at how beautiful that is. That is from Up North Yarns. She had it, oh, they're upside down. She had it on her website. How did that work? And I contacted her because I wanted DK. And she said she was just dyeing it up because there was a store that she supplies that wanted it as well. So she does have it listed. I just think that red and green are so pretty together, aren't they? Look at that. That really inspires me. Okay, I think that's all the projects for today. I'm looking down at my notes to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Are you cooking for Thanksgiving? I'm not a cook. I do it because I have to, but I'm really not a cook. So luckily, we are going to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law's house, and our family will be there. And so I just need to help. I don't need to do the whole big thing. So that's good for me. I'll happily do dishes, chop vegetables. And our kids will be there and grandkids. And so that'll be a fun weekend. And nieces and nephews. And we have some fun family events planned. So I'm looking forward to that. Tell me in the comments, are you working on Christmas projects? Are you knitting on Christmas projects? Are you getting Advents? I typically have never bought, an Advent from a dyer. Maybe next year I will actually do that. But I've done the swap 3 years in a row, and it's been so much fun. It's really, really special. And I also did one with my friend from North Carolina one year. We just did our own swap between the two of us, which is basically what this is. And I just think that's so fun. Yeah, tell me, have you purchased an Advent? Are you planning? What are you planning? I shouldn't say I never, because I did the Sarah Shira's gnome project for December. Is Nana gnome? Now, my grandkids call me Grammy, not Nana, but I just thought that would be something fun to do. I've done her December gnome before, and I just thought that would be a fun thing to do this year. So I did order a kit from Timber Yarns, and it's coming from Canada. And then I saw the postal strike, and I thought, oh no, I'm not going to get my yarn. But I looked this morning, and it was in the United States. So fingers crossed, it will come in time. I have lots of minis. I could just do it that way. But anyway, I'll let you know next time if it came. All right, a little kindness story. So all the more I feel like it's really important to share and talk about kindness. So Sunday night, I was over at the church for a little evening, just a little Sunday evening supper and a little Bible study. And one of the ladies in the group was talking about the kindness that people have shown her in the last year. Her dear partner passed away a year ago, and his funeral had been a year ago from that day. And it was a really rough time for her. And she talked a year ago, and it's been a tough, challenging year. But she talked about how so many friends have gathered around her and helped her just through small acts, someone bringing a meal over or stopping by. She often talked about people stopping by to visit and how that helped her so much. And one of when I first started talking about kindness on here, trying to use my platform to spread a little kindness, one of the viewers emailed me a little story about when her mother passed away. She went to get her hair done at her hairdresser's, and her hairdresser refused to take payment that day. And so it just reminds me that, you know, that to her hairdresser, that was probably nothing to do that hair cut or whatever it was for her, was probably just a small, insignificant thing. But to our friend here on the cast, it meant the world. So I was hoping that before we get into the holiday, you know, we always start out and then it gets a little crazy. If you're like me, it always gets crazy. But before it gets too crazy, could you just reach out and do something unexpected for someone? Would it be possible? And if you do that, now I'm not looking at this as, you know, don't feel like you're bragging about what you did, okay? Oftentimes we like to think of how someone has done a kindness to us, but I would appreciate if you would share with me the kind thing that you did for someone else. And I don't want you to feel like I would love you to email me at chitchatknits@gmail.com or send me a message on Ravelry or however you want to do it. If you want to leave a, you know, message on here, that's great too. But would you you're not bragging, you're just telling about what you did. Would you do that for me? And I would love to share as we go through the holidays some of these kind acts, because we just need a little kindness in this world. We just do. We just do. So if you would do that, I would be ever so grateful. Now, I'm excited because I'm going to wrap this up, because I am heading out in a little bit here to go to school where I used to teach in the school system, because one of my former students has asked to sit down and chat with me. We've already met. We're meeting monthly just to sit down and chat. And guess what? You might say, wow, that's a kind act she's doing to meet with this former student. But you know what? This student has blessed me by opening this relationship and asking. He said I was his favorite teacher, and he really wanted to spend some time with me. 5 years since I've had him. So guess what? The kind act is for me to get to spend this time. And then after that, I get to do another thing I love to do. I'm going with my friend to one of the senior living places in our town, and we're going to do music for an hour. Yay! What a great afternoon I get to have. And you know what? I am blessed by the opportunity to do these things. All right. I want to hear about if you had an Advent. I'm challenging or hoping, I shouldn't say challenge, I'm encouraging you to reach out and do a kind act for someone. And then tell me about it. Okay, friends, thank you so much for stopping by. I wish you a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving, and I will see you again real soon. Bye for now.